Hey guys, this is Alessio from Flashforge Lab, and today we are diving deep into the Flashforge AD5X. If you're thinking about buying a multicolor 3D printer, especially something beginner-friendly but still packed with features, you need to hear this before dropping your cash. I'm gonna cover everything: setup, specs, pros and cons, and how it stacks up against the competition. Let's go! Straight out of the box, the AD5X comes mostly pre-assembled. By mostly, I mean the frame is ready. The LCD slides in. The filament feeder arm mounts on the side, and the 4 spring-loaded filament spools snap into place. Plug in the power, switch it on, and it does its self-checks. All in all, setup is simple, clean and modern. Nothing revolutionary, but nothing frustrating either. The AD5X is a Core XY printer, which means the motion system is stable, precise, and more resistant to vibration compared to typical bed-slinging designs like the Bambu Lab A1. Core XY setup usually lasts longer, and this one is no exception. The build plate is a spring steel PEI sheet that works beautifully. Prints stick during the job and pop off easily afterward. First layer adhesion, spot on. And yes, this is a small but nice detail. The plastic grip makes handling the build plate easy without touching the PEI surface itself. Leveling is fully automatic, which is a lifesaver, especially for beginners. No more fiddling with screws, trying to eyeball it, or risking uneven first layers. Now the thing everyone cares about: multicolor printing. The AD5X supports up to 4 filaments input through PTFE tubes that feeds directly into the head unit. You just mount the spools on the number holders, feed them into the automated feeder, and the printer handles the rest. Switching filaments literally takes seconds. Twist, feed, done. This is way easier than single-color printers where a filament swap feels like a 10-minute chore. It is compatible with spools diameters from 52 to 58 millimeters, which covers pretty much every standard filament you're gonna find. You can print PLA, TPU, and flexible materials with the direct drive extruder. Huge bonus if you want versatility. The purge process for multicolor prints does produce some waste, especially with lighter colors like white. You can reduce it in the slicer, but don't expect zero purging. That's just how multicolor FDM works. Unless you glue separate pieces, there's always a bit of leftover material. Talking about specs and performance, the build volume is 220 millimeters cube, a little smaller than some Core XY competitors like the Bambu Lab A1, but still a solid, usable cube. The extruder is a direct drive, good for flexible filaments. No jams in my experience, except one time I tried to load a really soft TPU and it didn't work. And the nozzle is held with a magnetic bracket for easy swaps. The heatsink folds out for maintenance. And as for speeds, we get up to 300 mm per second. It's competitive but not blazing fast. What about the noise? It is a bit louder than compact single-color machines, comparable to other enclosed printers with fans. Not disruptive, just noticeable. As for the enclosure, it doesn't come with one, but Flashforge also offers the enclosure kit. Good for cost, but a bit of a catch if you want to print ABS reliably. Connectivity and controls. We've got Wi-Fi and Ethernet, which is awesome for network printing or small print farms. The control screen is resistive, not capacitive. Sometimes you have to press firmly, and occasionally it jumps to the home screen randomly. And this is something that I'm not a huge fan of. The menu layout is simple and functional, though not flashy. Out of the box, it uses Flashforge's Orca Slicer derivative, but you can also run base Orca Slicer for the latest features. The ecosystem isn't as polished as Bambu Lab. Mobile apps are basic, remote monitoring isn't included, and the camera is optional. With that said, for someone who just wants reliable prints without ecosystem gimmicks, this is perfectly fine. Let's talk about print quality.
Okay, so after updating the firmware on the machine, I actually managed to make an Orca slicer for Flashforge work perfectly. And I did send this print with this little thingy, and it was an 8-hour print with 4 different colors. There were 75 color changes, and here we can see all the poops. It's not too bad. So this is the actual first print with the Flashforge AD5X. So we can see here all the prints. Let's remove one. I scaled it down quite a bit so I can fill the bed with multiple copies, and it works. It's just perfect. Look at the quality of this thing. It's fully functional, and I'm impressed about the eye. It's literally 2 layers maybe. It's white. You can see it that much because the background is actually pink. I'm really impressed.
Let's put in it and load. Let's load it in slot number 2. Grabbed it. Let's go to the slicer and see what we're going to print with this 2 filament. And here we are in the slicer printing this amazing model, the T800 from Terminator. So we need to set the filaments, so it's going to be only 2. The first one is Flashforge PLA Pro. Fortunately, we have presets, so PLA Pro, and the color is silver. And for better details, we're going to set the layer height to 0.16 millimeters. Then we're going to set the second filament, which was Flashforge HS PLA. Color is titanium burnt. And another thing I want to do, because it's a multicolor, obviously, I want to do some painting. And so bear with me and I'll do the painting. I did a little bit more painting, so let's slice it and see how long it's going to take, like this. Okay, here we have it right here. It's gonna be less than 1,000 filament changes, and it's gonna take 2 days and 4 hours. And I think we're good, we can send this print. Now it's loading the print, unpacking the files, and finally we are ready to go. Let's gonna check in 1 day maybe and see how it goes.
And here we are, 1 day later, still 29 hours remain, and the print is going absolutely beautifully. I don't know if you can see the models behind the tree supports, but it looks insane. I cannot wait. So we're gonna come back in and check in over a day and see the finished print. We need to be careful. There you go. So that's the print. It comes off. It finished probably like half an hour ago before I came here. There's the prime tower. Almost 1,000 changes. The supports are coming out beautifully so far. This part here of the supports are really hard to remove, so I'm gonna try not to break the actual print. Perfect. It turned out absolutely beautiful. There's one more thing that I want to point out is the app didn't really tell how much time was missing. Almost at the end it said that it were 47 hours left, while in reality it was finished. So the app is a little glitchy. And after 15 hours, the print is complete. I don't see any issues whatsoever, except one thing on the screen that says the print is paused, but in reality is complete. So I'm not sure what's going on with the filaments. Everything seems okay except the little issue we had. But the print is complete. Probably there's something going on with the retraction of the filament. I can hear like a noise or something. I'm just gonna cancel it, I guess, and see. Yes, and we'll see. And the print is finished. Just gonna go and cut the filament, but now we can see and check the print. And for the next test, I loaded PLA and TPU to print these multi-material pliers, which will have the jaws and handle in PLA and the buffer in TPU. So let's see how this one goes. And the print is finished. As we can see on the screen, this print was completed perfectly. In fact, there is no mysterious pause or idle. But the confusing thing is to press continue or OK. Because if you want to reprint it again, you press continue. If you just want to stop the print, you press OK. We have our print right there. We can remove it from the build plate. And here are our pliers. And we can try them right away. I love the squishiness of the TPU merged with the PLA. Let's see if it works. Let's do a grip test. Obviously it bends because the table is pretty strong, but we can try and grab something else. It's not super strong, but it's a functional print nonetheless. And for the next print, we're gonna load PETG carbon fiber reinforced and then PLA carbon fiber reinforced, and we're going to print these master spools from Polymaker. And the first one is finished. We press OK. And here we have the other part of the spool printed in PLA CF. Let's remove it right off the build plate.
PLA prints are smooth, bridging is clean, supports snap off easily. Overhangs are solid, and first layer sticks well. Multicolor prints like masks or figuring look excellent, with crisp layers and minimal stringing. What's the trade-off then? Purge material and time. Some prints can take a couple of days for full multicolor models, depending on the size and color changes like this one. For all these test prints, the top layers were among the smoothest I've seen, bridging perfect, overhangs clean, overall, high quality result for a budget-friendly multicolor printer. And now for the pros and the cons. For the pros, we have a really quick setup, mostly pre-assembled, Core XY design, stable, precise, and durable. Spring steel PEI bed, and easy first layer and easy removal. Then we have obviously automatic bed leveling, 4 multicolor system, and easy filament swaps. Then we have direct drive extruder, TPU flexible friendly. Enclosure not included. Network connectivity, Wi-Fi plus Ethernet, affordable multicolor option, trade-in programs for all printers. And for the cons, the ecosystem apps is not as polished as the competitors. The control screen resistive occasionally missteps. It is slightly louder than ultra-quiet printers. Then of course we have purge waste for multicolor prints, but I did a test with this multicolor print on the AD5X and on the Bambu Lab P1S just to see the differences, and the obvious thing is the build volume is slightly smaller than some competitors, but perfect for most desktop projects. The camera is not included, but you can buy it from the website separately. Let's talk about competition and price comparison. For a Bambu Lab A1, you can spend up to $259 for single color and $369 for multicolor. Slightly bigger build, better ecosystem. And what you get is slightly bigger build. The Flashforge AD5X is around $399. Cheapest multicolor printer on the market right now. And the trade-in program is unique. In my honest opinion, if you want to try multicolor FDM without going crazy on price, the AD5X is a solid, dependable choice. It's not flashy, not trend-setting, but it's stable, capable, and most of all, is beginner-friendly. Perfect for people tired of gimmicks or overpriced machines. So if you are on the fence about the Flashforge AD5X, this machine works. Just works. It's easy to set up, it prints well, and you can tell right here, handles multicolor like a champ, and it comes at a price that actually makes sense. Of course there are minor annoyances, but what machine doesn't have one? But rest assured that nothing will ruin your prints or your experience. I have linked in the description down below. Yes, it is an affiliate link, but it helps me keep this channel going while bringing you honest and on info. Drop your questions and thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you think. And as always, hit the subscribe button if you're into 3D printing content. Thank you so much for watching, and as usual, I'll catch you on the next one.